Hello students, today we are going to discuss about gram staining. As you all know that due to the pandemic we are unable to conduct the practicals in the practical room. So we'll be using this virtual classroom which is as good as the practical room. You can learn the gram staining steps and principle interpretation everything. So let's start with the description. So this is a little literature about what is gram staining, what is the principle, what are the requirements to conduct gram staining, and how you do gram staining and how to interpret gram staining. So before I start, I want to tell you that gram staining is a differential staining. Differential staining means it differentiates bacteria into two groups, which is gram positive and gram negative. Now, how it differentiates, that we will learn in the principle. So, some bacteria are gram positive and they take the crystal violet stain and appears violet in color. Some are gram negative. Gram negative organisms takes up the saffronin stain and appear pink in color. Crystal violet is the primary stain and saffronin is the secondary stain or the counter stain. Now, why the gram positive appears violet and why the gram negative appears pink? So, it is due to the difference in their cell wall components, and the component which is responsible for this variation is the peptidoglycan layer. So, bacteria have peptidoglycan layer on their cell wall. Now, the gram positive organisms have a very thick peptidoglycan layer. So when you stain them using the primary stain or crystal violet, they will appear violet in color because the thick peptidoglycan layer absorbs the crystal violet. After the first step of crystal violet, we do decolorization. In the decolorization process, what happens is the decolorizer is unable to remove so much crystal violet from the thick peptidoglycan layer because it is completely saturated, and it is very difficult for the decolorizer to remove all the crystal violet from the peptidoglycan layer. Whereas on the other hand, in gram negative organism, they have a thinner peptidoglycan layer. So when the decolorizer acts on gram-negative organism, the thin peptidoglycan layer has rather lesser amount of crystal violet in them, and it can be easily removed by the decolorizer. After the decolorization step, we wash the slide and we do the secondary staining or the counter staining. When we put the counter stain saffron in, the crystal violet stain is already saturating the peptidoglycan layer of the gram positive organism. So saffronin is not absorbed by gram positive organism. Whereas gram negative, they are colorless because they are already decolorized. All the crystal violet from the first step is removed by the decolorizer. So they take up the color of saffronin and appears pink in color. When we do the procedure, we will understand it better. Now, what are the requirements to perform gram staining? So, before I talk about the staining requirements, you should know that you have to learn to prepare a smear. Smear is made on a clean, grease-free glass slide. You can use bacterial culture to make the smear, and you have to allow it to air dry. When the smear is air dried, you have to heat fix it. We will be discussing all this in the practical procedure. Now the stains that you need is crystal violet, which is the primary stain. You need gram cyanide, which acts as the mordant. Mordant means it is not a stain, but it makes the link or the bond between the cell wall and the primary stain stronger. Then you have the decolorizer. You can use alcohol or you can use acetone. Then you have the counter stain saffronin. Okay. So method we will not discuss here. We will go to the actual video. So here you can see with a Bunsen burner, the loop is sterilized, culture is taken and it is spreaded on the glass slide. The loop is again sterilized. Okay, so now we have allowed the smear to air dry. You cannot hurry up in air drying. You have to give the slide its own time to dry. Now you can see it's a time lapsed video, so you can see the smear is dried. Now after the smear is air dried, we have to heat fix it. Heat fixing is very important. You cannot ignore this step, because if you don't heat fix, when you do the staining, the material on your slide can get washed off. Heat fixing will ensure that the material that you have put, or the bacteria that you have put on the slide, is stuck with the slide throughout the staining procedure. Now I'll show you how to do heat fixing. So you can see this is a Bunsen burner. Let's use it. So here the Bunsen burner is lit up, and you take the slide. This is your slide, and this is how you pass it over the flame 3 to 4 times, and heat fixing is done. So this is how you do the heat fixing. So your slide is heat fixed. Now we have to start the staining. So first step in the staining is using the primary stain, which is crystal violet. So we use crystal violet and keep it for 1 minute. You can see the timer here. Okay. After that, wash it. Next step is the mordant, which is iodine. Wait for 1 minute. Okay. Wash it. Next is the most crucial step of gram staining, which is the decolorization. So I'm using the decolorizer here and washing. Now there are various options for decolorizer. You can use acetone also, you can use absolute alcohol also. The time will vary with different decolorizers. After the decolorization, we have to apply safranin, which is the last step of the staining procedure. Okay, so this will take 1 minute and we will wash it. Okay, now your slide is ready. The staining procedure is done. You have to allow the slide to air dry so that all the water that is there on the slide dries completely, and then we observe this slide at 100x or oil immersion. So let me just show you some examples. Okay, this is a microscopic field where you can see this violet color bacteria. So I told you already, violet color means gram positive organisms. So here you see tiny spherical bacteria. They are arranged in clumps or clusters. You can see here cluster over here. You can see some single also. Okay, so basically what you have to see here is the color. So this bacteria has taken up violet color. That means it is gram positive bacteria. Okay, this is again gram positive. These are gram positive cocci in chains. So if you see, you have this little spherical shaped bacteria which have come together and they appear like chains. So these are gram positive because they are violet color, cocci because they are spherical, and chain is the arrangement. Okay, this is gram positive rods. Gram positive because the color you can see is violet and the shape is rod shaped. Okay, this is an example of gram negative. You can see gram negative cocci. You can see the color, it is pink, and the shape of the bacteria is spherical. So you see three cocci together here. So these are gram negative. Gram negative and gram positive completely depends on what color you see. You see pink, you call them gram negative. Here also gram negative rods. You see pink color bacteria and the shape is rod shape. So these are gram negative rods. Okay, so these were the examples. Now there are certain things you should know while performing gram staining. That is, the decolorization step is the most crucial step of gram staining. Now you can make two mistakes with the decolorization. Either you can under decolorize or over decolorize. Over decolorization means when you keep the decolorizer for longer than required. So if you keep the decolorizer for longer time than required, what will happen is it will decolorize the gram-positive organisms also. That means the gram-positive organism which normally retain the primary stain and the gram-negative which normally gets decolorized, but in this case everything will be decolorized. So if you decolorize for a very long time, both gram positive and gram negative will be colorless, and when you do the secondary staining using safranin, both of them will take up the pink color of the safranin, and when you look it under the microscope, even the gram positive will appear pink in color. Second mistake that you can make with the decolorization step is you can under decolorize. Under decolorization means when you are doing the staining, you don't keep the decolorizer for the time that is asked. So you wash it before the required time. So here what happens is it will not decolorize properly. So definitely it will not decolorize the gram positive organisms, and along with that it will fail to decolorize the gram negative organisms also. So in this case both will retain the primary stain which is crystal violet, and when the staining is over, when you look it under the microscope, you will see the gram positive as well as the gram negative both appears violet in color. So these two mistakes can lead to a wrong result. So you have to always keep in mind that these errors should not happen. If you have any questions, any doubts regarding gram staining, please ask in the comment box.